Before we begin, I would like to ask you, my audience, a question. Do you want these Yuriviews to be more review, like whether I recommend a show or not without trying to give away most of the plot, or would you rather I go full analysis mode and not care about spoilers? I could always do a separate video from the Yuriview that has spoilers while keeping these ones spoiler free. Ravioli, ravioli, don't lewd the dragon lolly. A passing fad, yet a good piece of advice to live by. Very reflective of the show. It had a burst of popularity, but the lingering fan base was large enough to net a season 2. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is about an office worker who is going about their daily lives, slaving away to a company, until out of seemingly nowhere, a dragon shows up outside of her door, offering to be her maid. It's a wholesome slice of life featuring these two, and a handful of other humans whose daily lives has also been interrupted by these mythical beings. Let's not waste any time. As a slice of life, this anime passes the lighthearted category with flying colors, scoring a hefty 9 out of 10. I may or may not be heavily biased by the existence of Season 1, Episode 6, but I firmly believe that this rating is hard carried by Kana and Saikawa. And if you get into the manga, who buddy, a whole new can of worms! For serious Yuri developments, I'm sorry, but I think I can only give this one a 6 out of 10. Like I said many times already, it's a slice of life, and while more serious than others, Kana Saikawa is played for jokes while Kobayashi Toru is stunted by Kobayashi. Now, on to pain. If you've watched a few episodes, you'd rate this a solid 2 out of 10. If you watched a season, you'd rate this a 5 out of 10. If you're me and you know about that, then you know I'm rating this a 7 out of 10. I would go into why, but so far these Yuriviews have been recommendations, so I wish to avoid spoilers. Next up is plot. Now, despite its tendency to focus on very small things that seem slice of lifey, there's also this underlying theme of dragon politics and coexistence. Now, you could always say that themes don't necessarily count as plots, and in some cases you would be right, but the small mentions of these things, while overshadowed by the adorable slice of life at first, eventually come into plot, and thus I think this show has the best plot out of the Yuri shows we've reviewed so far, at a nice 7 out of 10. At the end of the day, it is still a slice of life, but you have to give it props for making it this far regardless. For enjoyment, you already know it's a 10 out of 10. Call me biased or whatever, but 50% of my body pillows are from this franchise, and it's because the characters are likable, yet grounded in their flaws, and some of these flaws only serve to endear the characters even more to us. Its comedy is top-notch, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen, and the character designs, oh my god, the character designs. They're actually amazing. Every single character has the potential for greatness, and this potential is actually realized. Now, the premise seem like just a reverse isekai at first, but the premise doesn't matter if you execute it well. Think about it. Attack on Titan's premise is big naked people trying to kill you with many small Spider-Mans trying to fight them off. This premise sounds a bit dodgy at first, but at the end of the day, they worked with what they have and they made something great. So, before you write this off as just a blob of fan service, although I won't deny that Lukoa's whole existence is fan service, give it a try. The music of Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is very good once it grows on you. The first time I listened to it, it was kinda meh to me, and then I listened to it again, and it was actually not that bad. And then I listened to it a few more times, and I actually really liked it. And then I listened to it for a week straight, because what's self-control? So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Well, that's that, so let's see our next options. Everything from last time, including 1x-half, Koisuru Asteroid, Citrus, Bloom Into You, Swap Swap, Flip Flappers, and instead of Dragon Maid, Mimi Mix. Like, comment, Flip Flappers, yeah, that stuff.